Now I'll stop here and interject a possible objection by coaches and players saying, well, Kim, that's all fine and good, but Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe, who were great tennis champions in the 70s, essentially had this kind of swinging gate action, and they were great champions. And we still see this linear sort of action at times with other great players, even like Serena Williams on her forehand. Serena's backhand is always much better. She creates many more errors on her forehand than her backhand, because sometimes she lets this model encroach into her game. I really think that this kind of analysis and justification is holding the game of tennis back, and in the United States be one of the factors that's stopping us from producing more tennis champions. It's all well and good to celebrate the championship caliber of McEnroe and Connors, and certainly Serena Williams. There's 1,000 things that make them a great champion, and 900 of those things we can talk about and emulate and copy. But we don't want to take the weak part of their game, the part that they didn't implement as effectively as they do in the modern game, and teach that. We have to separate their success and realize that their success pretty much often comes in despite of not having some of the best technique. Earlier in the series, the last series, I talked about Dinara Safina's serve, who was the #1 player in the world at one point. And how this idea that we need to turn and face the target and turn the racket to face the target created this downward dragging motion through the contact phase, stopping her from getting the kind of topspin and arc over the net that she needed, creating a dozen double faults in a match. We have some of that same action with Maria Sharapova, who does some of the same thing at times, especially under pressure. And that's really another point to be made, is that sometimes when there's not a lot of pressure, we can get away with some of these gimmicky stroke actions. But under pressure, these old paradigms start to get into our minds, and then we start to want to turn towards the target and straighten out and make this racket line up with the target. And that's what creates so many problems. To the right of the picture of Dinara Safina's serve, I have a picture of Jim Furyk, who used to be the #2 golfer in the world and did win one Grand Slam championship. The one senior golf analyst described Furyk's swing as an octopus falling out of a tree. So the point is that Furyk does everything bad the way we said. He takes the racket and casts the club head back and away from his body. He starts the swing motion too soon and too towards the top. But through long years of practice and compensation, he's managed a bunch of compensating moves down here so that he can hit a pretty effective golf swing, obviously. But we have to realize that these players' success is in despite what their stroke technique is. They should be praised even more for their success because they have the handicap of these poor paradigms at times. So what should we be doing in baseball and golf and tennis instruction? Well, we should be teaching the best models, the best paradigms of the greatest players. And that's what I tried to show with the scarecrow action of Federer, Roddick, Sampras. The racket is not going towards the target in a linear manner, but is rotated off to the right. The ball is going towards the target. So, we want to look at the best models and the most innovative and most effective in today's age to teach, and not harken back to models that are outdated and are inefficient.